Okay, it's been an amazing journey so far with Pac-Man, but in this video we are ready to finish the game. So in this video we are going to start by implementing scores. So I'm going to create a simple variable called score. For all the sprites, click OK, and I'm actually going to uncheck dots, and I'm going to keep the lives and the score visible on the stage, because these are the variables that I care about. And obviously at the very beginning of the game I'm going to set the score to 0. So set score to 0. Now how do we increase the score? Well, we increase the score when Pac-Man touches a dot, or when a dot touches Pac-Man. So I'm going to add a small script starting with when I start as a clone in the dot sprite, and I'm going to wait until I touch Pac-Man, or until Pac-Man touches me. So wait until, and I'm going to go to sensing, and I'm going to bring this touching Pac-Man. Now when Pac-Man touches me, I'm going to send Pac-Man a message to increase its score. So I'm going to broadcast a new message that I'm going to call point. Alright, and after Pac-Man touches me, the dot, I'm simply going to decrease the dot's variable, and I'm going to simply delete this clone. So I'm going to go to variables and change dots by -1. Alright, so decrease dots by 1, and I'm going to do a small check. If the number of dots has become 0, then I'm going to broadcast a new level so that I tell all the other sprites to prepare for a new level. So I'm going to say if the dots is equal to 0, so dots equal 0, then I'm going to broadcast next level, which is a new message. So next level. And finally, I'm simply going to delete this clone. Now, let's take these two new messages in turn. First, I'm going to make Pac-Man respond to the point message. So I'm going to go to Pac-Man, and I'm going to add a small script when I receive point. All right. I'm going to play a little sound, which is like the Pac-Man eating song. So I'm going to actually start song Pac-Man coin in, and I'm going to increase my score. So I'm going to go to variables and change, and I'm going to select score, and I'm going to change score by an amount. How much should one of these dots be worth? Let's say 10 points. So I'm going to change score by 10. Now, what else should increase the score? Well, eating a ghost should increase the score dramatically. So here, when the ghost dies, when we set dead to yes, we should also increase the score massively. So I'm going to add a small increase in score. So change and select score, and you can pick any value you like. I'm just going to say a 200 value because eating a ghost is very valuable. Cool, so that's about it with scoring. So if we generate Pac-Man here at the maze, we see that it's eating the coins and our score increases, which is great. Now, how do we program that next level thing? Well, we need to make all the sprites aware of that message. So we'll make a small script that will be starting with a when I receive next level in basically every single sprite. So I'm going to add a small script with when, not loudness, but when I receive next level. I'm simply going to restart Pac-Man to its original position. So I'm going to go to x 0 and y -80. And I'm going to stop all the other scripts from running. So I'm going to go to control, and I'm going to stop other scripts in this sprite because Pac-Man still responds to my input. I need to reset it. So that is Pac-Man. Let's go to Inky, the ghost. Now, what should Inky do at the start of a level? So let me add a script with when I receive next level. Well, it's very easy. I'm simply going to stop all the other scripts in the ghost sprite. That's because the ghost is moving on its own, so we need to stop it. At the same time, I'm going to add a small waiting time before the ghost starts moving here in the when I receive new round. So let me add a small wait for 2 seconds just before the forever loop. So that's it for the Inky sprite. Let's go to Power Pill. So for Power Pill, we need to generate new clones when we receive that next level message. But first we need to delete the old ones. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a small script with when I receive next level, and I'm going to do, watch this, I'm going to say delete this clone. So all the power pills will be deleted except for the original sprite, because you cannot delete the original sprite from the stage. So only the clones will be deleted. Now, when the original sprite receives that next level message, it will start generating clones again. So basically duplicate this clone generation code. So I'm going to extract that to a custom block. So I'm going to make a custom block like generate power pills. All right. And I'm going to define it as whatever's over here. And when the flag is clicked, I'm going to generate the power pills. And when I receive next level, I'm going to generate the power pills. So that's a nifty little trick. As for fruits, when we receive the next level message, I'm simply going to show this sprite. So when I receive next level, I'm simply going to show the sprite again because it may have been hidden by Pac-Man in the previous level. And that is it. As for overlays, it's much more interesting. So when I receive the next level, I'm going to display a message on the screen. So I'm going to switch the costume to, and the costume is you win. And then I'm going to show the sprite on the stage. I'm going to make a display onto the front layer in case there's any other sprite overlapping with it. And then after 2 seconds, so I'm going to wait for 2 seconds, and then I'm going to broadcast a new round message to tell the sprites that the game has started. Alright, so remember that Pac-Man and Inky respond to this new round message by starting to move on into the maze. Alright, so this is what's happening in the overlay sprite when we receive that next level message. As for the dot sprite, it doesn't respond to the next level message, but rather to the prepare level message, which we already implement. So we need somebody to broadcast this prepare level when we receive the next level message. And that will be the backdrop, because that's the one broadcasting the prepare level. So the last thing to program is the backdrop. So when I receive the next level message, so next level, I'm going to do a small if check. If the backdrop number is equal to 2, because I only have 2 levels here. If you add more, you can do if backdrop number is equal to however many levels you have. So I'm going to have if the backdrop number is equal to 2. So I'm going to bring backdrop number from looks. So if backdrop number is equal to 2, then Pac-Man has finished the game. So I'm going to broadcast a new message. I'm going to name this victory. All right. Otherwise, I'm simply going to go to the next backdrop and broadcast prepare level. So I'm going to go to looks, switch, but rather next backdrop, and then broadcast the prepare level message. And Pac-Man will respond to this victory message as follows. I'm going to add a small script with when I receive, I'm going to make some room here. So when I receive victory, I am going to play a little sound, which we will use at the beginning as well, and make Pac-Man rotate in circles. So I'm going to bring in the same repeat 72, if you remember that, when Pac-Man died. I'm going to rotate it clockwise by 10 degrees, and I'm going to switch its costume to man 3. So man 3. And at the same time when I receive victory, I'm going to play a little music, because Pac-Man has this little intro music. So let me show you. Alright, so I'm going to use this sound and finish the entire game after that. So I'm going to go to events and bring in another when I receive victory. And I'm going to play this Pac-Man song 2 until done. And after that, I'm going to stop the entire game. So stop all. I'm going to reuse this sound at the beginning. Alright, so at the point when the flag is clicked, and at this point we should have a very complete game. So the moment of truth. Alright, so Pac-Man was not reset at the beginning when the flag is clicked. We should probably fix that. So I'm simply going to make Pac-Man go to 0 and -80, and that should be it. And notice the dots are being generated here on the screen. It'll probably take a while because generating clones takes some time. But in the meantime, I can still play. And the ghosts will start come after me. Let me kill the ghost. Get here. Yeah. This is amazing. Alright, the ghosts are after me again. Uh-oh. I'm being chased. Wow, I'm actually pretty fearful for my life now. Oh, well man, the ghosts are after me. Maybe I can fool them. I'm almost there. Oh man, the ghosts are after me. Ha, you can't catch me, ghosts. Good, I am at level complete. Alright, let's do this. So this fruit is misbehaving. We're gonna fix that in a second. But let's actually finish up this game. Alright, we're getting there. Okay, cool. So the game actually started. We need to fix the fruit misbehaving, and we also need to stop all the other sprites when we receive the victory message. So I'm going to go to fruit, and I'm going to wrap this section of the script in a forever loop. So this is how we can ensure that this sprite can be touched by Pac-Man multiple times. Now obviously when touching Pac-Man, the sprite will be hidden, so Pac-Man will not be able to touch it again, and the sprite will only be made visible on the screen at next level. Alright. And then the other thing that we need to fix is to stop all the other scripts in all the other sprites at the victory message. So I'm going to add a simple script. When I receive victory, I'm going to stop all the other scripts in this sprite. So stop and select other scripts in the sprite, and I'm going to do the same for all the other sprites. So when I receive victory, stop all the other scripts in the sprite. With fruits just as well, but fruits are harmless. Then overlay, this is harmless as well. And for the dot, this is harmless as well because all the dots have been eaten from the stage. Alright, so at this point, I declare this game complete. Finally, it's been a long journey. You cannot possibly imagine how proud I am that you followed along. If you're still watching me right now, you're one of my top students. Very few have the courage and patience to finish this game, but you did. And I'm proud of what you coded and learned in this chapter and in this entire course. You're now able to create your own games with motion and visual effects and intelligent enemies and so much more. And not only that, but you've learned to program. and you can now much more easily learn any real-life programming language like Java or Python because you learned the principles of programming in this course. So right now, take a step back and enjoy what you've learned and what you've created, and challenge your friends in your games. In the meantime, I will say that you are awesome and you can do anything.